the speaker meeting. On behalf of Rotary Rajmal Vilas, I welcome our speaker for today, Sadnya. Thank you very much, Sadnya, for accepting to be our speaker this evening on urban scaping and terrace gardening. It's a very much in demand subject, and we are very happy that you are here with us today. Before we start off, I would like to request Rotarian Sabarisan to announce if there are any announcements, then we will proceed.
Yeah, thank you, Shankar. 23rd April, that is tomorrow, we celebrate the birthday of Rotarian Jyotsna Gururaj. 24th, a day later, we will have we'll celebrate the birthday of Rotarian Kirti Mehta, who is a charter member of our club. For the anniversaries, 29th, Rotarian Mohan and Srilata Rao have their anniversary on 29th. And also Rotarian Chaya Navandar celebrates her anniversary on the 29th of April. Those are the announcements, Shankar, from my end.
Thank you, Rotarian Sabarisan. This week we have inaugurated the tailoring project at Marsuru. Many of our Rotarians were present for the inauguration of the project, which is a women empowerment project where we are providing tailoring skills to women in the village, and they should be self-sufficient post the training. And this is with the support of I-Value Info Solutions, who have been supporting us in many of the projects. And this is the fourth tailoring, third tailoring center that we are setting up this year. So we're very happy that many women have graduated from our tailoring centers, and they've also found employment, and they're also finding employment on their own using their skills. We also have a project tomorrow. I request Rashmi to share the poster. Thank you, Rashmi. And this is a dialysis machine that we are handing over to St. Teresa's Hospital. This project is along with Rotary HSR, and our CSR partner is I-Value Info Solutions, who have donated 6 lakhs of rupees. We also have our own Rotarian Anita Shah and her family from the company Luro Connect, who have sponsored the remaining amount for the dialysis machine. And this is going to be handed over tomorrow at 11 a.m. I request our members to be present at 10:45 at the St. Teresa's Hospital tomorrow, so that we'll have a short handing over event, and also get to see the project where this is going to be one of the largest dialysis free dialysis centers in the country, and this is a really proud moment for all of us to take part. I request all our members to please participate and take part in this handing over event tomorrow morning. If you have any questions, you can always get in touch with me or Rotarian Sabarisan about how to get there, and we will be happy to assist you. Now I request Rotarian Mallikarjun to please introduce our guest, Sadnya.
Yeah. Good evening, all Rotarians. And I would like to introduce the speaker of this week of the day. She's Sadnya. She's from Nipani of Belgaum district in North Karnataka. She is a commerce graduate and has done her post-graduation in finance. She has worked in finance and banking sector and has worked for 3 major Australian banks and the largest Australian insurance company. Nothing makes her happier than traveling, and loves exploring food and other Indian cultures. She comes from a business background and hence thought of following her second great passion. She grew up in a town surrounded by huge old trees and beautiful garden in her yard to bring the same beauty and livability to small spaces in urban areas. She has started the plant studio in March 2021. So thank you all Rotarians, and this is all about Sadnya, and we will be very eager to listen to our the speaker of this plant studio, what she has done as an entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Mallikarjun. The stage is all yours, Sadnya. Over to you.
Thank you for inviting me to speak on this topic, which is so appropriate for today, which is Earth Day. And really appreciate the initiative by Mr. Mallikarjun to get me to speak on this one here. Just give me 1 second while I am trying to share this. I hope you can see the screen. Please do let me know if you can see the screen.
It is loading. We should be able to see it in a while.
Okay. While it is loading, I'll just speak so that we don't lose any more time. Yes, as I say, today is Earth Day, and which was first inaugurated in 1970 to create awareness on environmental issues. So the thing that we face these days is that studies show that by 2050, most of the population will migrate to urban areas. So it will be the population living in cities, and there will be very few people living in the countryside. So this migration, as we see also since our sorry, I think I'm okay. Here it is. So as we see the
Sadnya, can I do one thing? You can stop sharing. I can ask Rashmi to share it so that you can just focus on your talk, and
okay,
Rashmi can move the slides. So you can just yes, and so let's make it convenient for you.
Okay,
Rashmi,
sure.
would you please share the slides from your side?
Yeah.
Yes, that's much quicker and faster. And over to you, Sadnya. You can ask her to change the slide, and Rashmi will be able to change the slide for you.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, I'll stop sharing.
No, it's already. There's no need to do anything, Sadnya. Please go ahead. Yeah. There's no need to do anything.
I wanted to go to the screen where it says "Bring beauty and living." That's the second screen. If we could start from there.
Yes, it's there.
Yes. Yeah, since urbanization, we have lost a lot of vegetation, and we are facing consequences of the same. Like you see, there's increase in temperatures, there is increase in pollution, both air pollution, noise pollution, water pollution. And people in Bangalore, we can definitely notice that there has been, the water table has also gone quite low. So all this happens mostly because it has been cut down to increase our concrete jungle. So to bring back some of that, or to increase the livability and bring beauty to the cities, it's very important that we have green spaces. One good thing about Bangalore is, yes, we do have green pockets of green spaces everywhere. That is because we have a lot of different
I think we lost Sadnya there. We'll just wait for her to log back in. I request all of you to stay connected. We'll just get Sadnya back in a while. We're sorry for the delay. We are just Sadnya. Sadhya's just called and she got logged out. She's just logging back in. She will take a few seconds. Sorry for the inconvenience. May I please check any of the members here who will be joining us tomorrow so that we can be prepared at the Terrace Hospital? Okay, Sadhnya is back now.
I'll join Shankar tomorrow.
Okay, okay.
I'll go directly from here and from there I'll go to court.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Sanjay. Sadhnya, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you for that. Sorry, apologies. I don't know how I logged out.
Okay, here I can just give you a tip, Sadhnya. You can just switch off the video. It will improve the, you can
the audio quality.
Yes. All right, please go ahead.
Yeah. So I don't know where I left, but I believe I was talking about why green spaces is important in
right.
areas. Yes. So as we move away from the main city areas, you see like townships where we have a lot of flats and ranging from these townships have flats ranging from 400 to 1,000, 1,500, and they look quite barren, and you don't see any vegetation unless you are on the ground floor. So you have parks there, which is definitely good because it increases your physical activity to go in there. It increases your social activities. But as you go higher, you are deprived of that vegetation. And when I say vegetation, it's not only the green spaces or the plants and trees, but it's the quality of air also gets worse. So why we need to have greenery even at homes? Doesn't matter how small your area is. Have plants and trees. If you can, yes, you can definitely have small trees in your balcony or terraces if you happen to have. The reason you need to have that is studies have shown that plants and trees tend to relax you. It reduces stress. And research has shown that it can decrease temperatures between 6 degrees and 8 degrees, especially if you have terrace gardens. And also, we all know that plants tend to give out oxygen, and they absorb elements of pollution, air pollution, thereby considerably improving air quality around you. So it doesn't matter, even if you have 5 to 10 plants, it still improves a lot of air quality around you. And green is one of the colors that is very soothing to the eyes. So the colors that are most soothing to eyes are greens and blues. So, you need to have greenery wherever you feel it is right. And especially in urban areas, yes. And if you have small spaces, all the more reason to have that greenery so that you can at least sit there, enjoy your plants, flowers in the balcony, and enjoy that time watching your sky instead of being on the phone or on any of the screens. And when we say you need to, next slide, please. Next slide, sorry. Yeah, so see, these are the types of gardens that you could have in your balconies. But when I say balcony garden, just don't go for any fancy plants that you would want to. See what suits you according to your lifestyle, according to your skill set, because not everyone, some people might want to have some plants in their balcony, but they don't know how to take care of them. Some people are avid gardeners, and they would love to have a lot of plants. Some people, they would love to have plants and they know how to garden, but it doesn't suit their lifestyle because they're away from the home and how to take care of it. So when you're having plants, just don't go with the landscape artist or urbanscapist who recommends, okay, you can have these plants. And or sometimes, it has become a trend now to have some exotic plants, or it has become a trend to get succulents and some plants that could be quite invasive. So there are some ways that I follow, and I feel that everyone should also follow, is that, yes, first thing is choose the plants according to your skill set. Choose the plants that are native to the area. So not all plants are suitable to the environment here. And especially if you're looking for some exotic plants which has become a trend, it looks beautiful, yes, and you want to buy them, but they're quite invasive. So when I mean quite invasive, as in like they grow and they literally capture your garden, or especially if you have a garden landscape like on the land and not in your balcony, and it keeps it's just like it grows like a weed, and that is quite harmful to the local area. So I'm very big on get local. So local, what you mean is whatever grows in your area, go for that first. Secondly, go for something that suits you and your balcony. And you can have in your balcony both vegetables and ornamental gardens. So these days you can even grow vegetables, you can get fresh produce from that. And I bet that you would be happy to harvest your own produce. So even a balcony for as small as 5 by 4 or can have a few plants or a few herbs you can grow in there, and maybe have a couple of trees, which will definitely increase the air quality around you. And not only that, plants are also known to decrease noise pollution, especially not in the balconies, but if you have small spaces around your house, if you have an independent house, these days we tend to, have covered that space with concrete so that, we don't want that headache of cleaning. So there are two things that happen with this is like you don't have space to plant trees. And when you don't leave any open area that is soil, which is not covered, then rainwater does not percolate through that soil. It just runs through the drains and we lose that water. So even if you have a small space of 2 feet or 3 feet around your home, please make sure that you don't cover it with concrete, because it's really important that we have some area around our house through which the rainwater percolates and the water table of the area increases. We are also losing that because of the loss of vegetation here. And when you plant trees around your compound, or even if it is a small area, as I said, even if it is 2 feet around your compound, that will also considerably reduce the noise pollution. So research has shown this, that one is it reduces stress, it tends to relax you. And when you're gardening, it really relaxes you. And as I said, the other benefits are, like you increase the water table, you increase, you will see a lot of natural birds and animals. When I say animals, at least squirrels you can see here in the cities. So you tend to increase the visits of these other animals and birds in your garden, which is really important because we are losing that ecosystem also. And Homo sapiens, that is human beings, are the only people who are responsible for extinction of like millions of species. And that starts from cutting off the vegetation, cutting off the trees, which has got like very harsh consequences. So yeah, this is one of the things that I wanted to bring up. That is how to bring up the water table, balcony garden. And next slide, please. Next slide, please.
Rashmi, can we go to the next slide? Yeah, okay, thanks.
Yeah. See, when you have your terrace garden, your ceiling, first thing is the previous slide, sorry. When you have your terrace, it's really important, like even if you want to have a terrace garden, make sure that the terrace is able to bear the weight of the soil and everything. Secondly, that it has been treated, like as in like it has been waterproofed to have a terrace garden. So not that, you can just go and have few plants there, because the moisture from that might seep into your ceiling, thereby destroying your ceiling. So, and when it comes to terrace garden, again, it is as per your choice. You could either have a vegetable garden, or you could have a small seating and some ornamental plants around you. And when I say, though the picture looks like, it might be quite an investment, it is not. You can start from as low as 5,000 rupees to have about 20 pots of good vegetables, or 20 pots of flower plants, or whatever plants you are fond of. But make sure you do have some green space. And as I said, when you have a terrace garden, it decreases your temperature in your the floor below by 6 to 8 degrees. And this is also shown by the studies. Like studies have shown this a decrease in temperature. And again, when it is a terrace garden, depending on the sunlight that you get, you can choose the plants. Depending on your skill set, choose the plants. And just don't go for the plants or the setup that would be expensive. Sometimes, we get carried away when we are doing a balcony or when we are doing a terrace garden, and we put in a lot of money in there. And later on only realize that, we are not into taking care of this. So go for it only if you're interested. And it is always better to start small. Another thing I wanted to bring up is, if you see, there is a vertical garden in the left-hand corner of the picture next to the white pot. So vertical garden is also a trend these days. But vertical gardens, it looks nice. It looks nice for a couple of weeks. After that, you will see there will be pockets of emptiness because the plants may start to die. No matter what nursery you get plants from or wherever, or even if you grow, you will see that at least 20% of the plants will die when you get them home, because there is change of weather, there is change of taking care, because the person who is taking care is different. So initially there will always be loss of plants until you get the hang of it. So, and another disadvantage of having a vertical garden is that it holds moisture behind it. It's difficult to water. And as I said, if there are pockets of emptiness there, it's difficult. You are not going to run to a nursery just to buy 1 or 2 plants which are dead. And in the next week, you will see another couple of them are dead and you're not running back to get that. So vertical garden, though it is a trend, it is not feasible to have it in the long run. So you can always be mindful of that. One thing is, like, as the moisture seeps into the wall behind it. Secondly, it's very difficult to water it unless you have a lot of patience to water each pot in that vertical garden. And thirdly, it is it's very difficult to replace that. And in a month's time, you feel like I have shelled out so much money into this, and you're not happy with the vertical garden. And then when you remove it, that space also doesn't look good. So yes, when you're going for a balcony garden or terrace garden, always start simple, and only as you grow fond of it, grow into something nice and beautiful. And if you're looking for a landscapist or urbanscapist who is into that, ask all the questions that you need to. And as I said, it's very important to go with local plants, native plants. I'm very big on native plants because a lot of native plants are also going extinct. So there are a few plants that you could still plant in your balcony or garden, even trees, as I mean. You can also have mango trees on your balcony, fruit trees on your balcony, or in your balcony and on your terrace. So yes, those are some of the things that you could have. And next slide, please. And as I said, I guess I've covered most of it. So yes, we are blessed with, our country is blessed with a whole lot of sunshine. So why not make use of that sunshine and grow trees and flowers, grow trees, plants, floral, vegetable, whatever suits your fancy. Grow trees and flowers, grow trees, plants, floral, vegetable. Sorry, I couldn't hear anything of that. I am not sure if.
And now it's better, Sadnya. We lost you in between, but you're back.
Oh, okay, sorry. I don't know. Okay. So did you lose me? Can we go to the next slide, please? Am I audible to you?
Yes.
Okay. So probably I can't see the next slide, but the next slide should show the.
No, there is some problem. Just a minute, please.
No worries. I think we can do without the slides. So if any of you have, if you have solar panels installed.
One minute, Sadnya. I'll just ask Rashmi to mute herself. Just give me 1 minute, please.
Sure, no problem, please.
There was some echo, and I'm trying to figure out what is the reason for the echo. Just a minute, please.
Okay, sure.
It seems to have gone away.
Shankar, I think it was from Rashmi's side. there must have been some issue. That's why she's not able to play the slide
Right,
also.
right,
I think we'll go ahead with the talk.
Yeah. We can just go ahead without the slide, Sadnya.
Yes, yes, no problem.
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
I'll share the slide in the group if you want later on.
Yeah.
Yes, so some of you might have solar panels also installed on your houses or your club or any terrace area. So solar panel, that is another good area where you could grow your vegetables. And some of the vegetables that you could grow on your terrace are like tomatoes, root vegetables like beetroots, radish, carrot, potatoes, and they grow really well. Besides this, leafy vegetables are one of the best vegetables to grow because you right from sowing till harvesting, it's only 4 to 6 weeks. So you don't even have to wait, and you would be happy to have them in 4 weeks. So all of the green leafy vegetables you could have in you could grow them either in your kitchen, or you could grow in your balcony or on terraces. So those are some of the one. Please don't go for exotics like colored capsicums, because it takes a lot of time to grow that, one thing. Secondly is it attracts a lot of pests. So exotic vegetables like colored capsicums, they attract a lot of pests, which then affect your other areas. So when you go for exotics, before you go for exotics, please get your hands on the local growing of local vegetables, and then you can try the exotics, because by then you would have known how to handle the vegetables, what pesticides to use, or whether to use pesticides or not, or if you want to grow it organically. And at the same time, you can also compost. You can also compost on your terrace. And when I mean composting, it doesn't mean that you need to have a lot of other materials to get, like a drum or terracotta pots or something like that. You can start composting in the pots itself. So if you have any of the pots, garden pots, you can start composting in that directly. If you need to know how to start doing that, you can contact me. I'll let you know. It's very easy. You just have to start layering in the pot, and just keep the pot for a month or so, and after that you can directly plant in that pot. And yes, it doesn't smell, it doesn't attract rats or rodents, any rodents. It doesn't attract anything, so you are safe there as such, unless it is left open unless it is not covered with either mud or coco peat. Then you might have some monkeys or squirrels coming in and digging into it. But if it is covered with coco peat or mud on the top layer, then you wouldn't have any problems composting it. So composting your own kitchen waste is one of the best things, and that is really good to grow vegetables on your terrace. And one more thing, okay. So the last part, next slide, please. If you see at the bottom, bottom left of your screen, that is the simplest way of doing hydroponics. So it is a very reasonable and simple way of doing hydroponics. So you see, those are the simple plastic pots, and we have got coco peat and compost in it. Some of them have only coco peat. The reason we use coco peat in those pots is because it is inert material, and it doesn't. And if you're using only coco peat, then there are no problems of weeding, and there is no problem of most of the plants get diseases which are soil borne. So when you're using an inert material, that is that case of getting a disease is mitigated. And there is a simple drip system that we do, and you give the nutrient, because coco peat is completely inert, it hasn't got any nutrition that the plant can have. So you have to have a nutrient solution that goes through it. If you don't want to use the nutrient solution, you can mix the coco peat with that. So this is one of the very simple ways. You don't have to go for any high-end hydroponics, because high-end hydroponics always is a waste of money. We have tried it, and it is very labor intensive. It is power intensive. It consumes a lot of power. I guess someone has raised hand. Does someone need to ask anything?
Maybe by mistake we can.
Okay, sure. Yes. This is the easiest form of hydroponics, and it is very light on your terrace. Coco peat is very light material, so it is very light, and you can move the pots around as and when the sun changes. During what do you call during Uttarayan and Dakshinayan, the sunlight changes on terrace or your balcony, so it's very easy to move your pots according to the sunlight. So that is one thing. Next slide, please. It's also, I guess the next slide shows green spaces in offices, office areas. It's very important to have green space in office areas because otherwise there is nothing that is soothing to the eyes. All you see is the gray walls, your screens, and nothing else. So, and when you have these small pockets of green areas in your offices, people tend to gather around it. So, you're encouraging interaction, you're encouraging social activity, and studies have also shown this. So yes, it's important, even if you have small area or small shelf where you could pot a few plants, that also makes a huge difference, because people generally, when they go out for a coffee break or something, they tend to gather in that area. And yes, as I said, green is one color that is very soothing to the eyes. It relaxes your eyes if you're on the screen for a long time. Yes, and I guess I've covered most of it. And yes, one more thing I wanted to bring up is, yeah, when it comes to gifting, it has become a trend now to gift plants. Yes, of course, it is really good, because gifting a plant can mean many things, but most of all, it means that you care, and the person wants, and it gives the feeling to the person that, they nurture that relationship. As the plant grows, they remember you and they nurture that relationship. But when you're gifting, again, I would say, please go with the local plants again, which will survive even after it is gifted, because not many would know how to take care of the succulents. So succulents are the middle ones in the picture on top line. So many would not know. So even if you're shelling out money to gift a succulent, the recipient might not know how to care for it. And if they lose it, they feel sad, and you feel sad too, because the plant is dead. And though it has been advertised, or the nurseries advertise it as like succulents can be grown indoors, it cannot be grown indoors. It gets very lanky when you grow indoors. It becomes spindly, and these are actually desert plants, and they need a whole lot of sunshine to grow. So if you're bringing them indoors, you're depriving them of that sunshine that they need. And you can gift succulents. Of course, they look pretty. They're really nice. Nothing can be prettier than that. But when you're gifting, please be mindful of the recipient also, because you wouldn't want to be gifting something that you like, but you should be gifting something that recipient gets. And yes, again, as I say, choose the local plants, because they are hardy. Most people would know how to look after them. So I guess I have covered most of it as to how to choose and what is the importance of greenery. I guess I'm open for questions now.
Thank you very much, Sadnya, for this wonderful presentation from yours as a very, apt, topic to be discussing on Earth Day today. And, we've learned a lot from you, and I suppose that we can still learn some more from you in practicals, right? This is the theoretical part of it. I think if we pick your brain, we can probably learn more about, some more about these plants.
Yes.
Like, for example, the succulents, I've seen very often that people keep inside the house, and it's quite revealing to me that you're right. that they are desert plants and they should be kept outside. And however, these are gifted, and normally, people don't know how to take care. And maybe you should give a instruction sheet along with a gift as to how to take care of the plants. Maybe I have a Rotarian Sanjay who's raised his hand, wants to ask a few questions. Rotarian Sanjay, you can go ahead, ask your question.
Yes, thanks, Shankar, and thanks, Sadnya. It was a wonderful session. I had just one question. When you spoke about growing mango on the terrace, were you referring to bonsai, or is it the regular mango that we can grow on the terrace?
I don't know, it is the
Any particular species that we can grow that doesn't grow too big?
No, it is the regular mango tree. There is a new, a new method of growing it. They grow the mango trees only up till the height of 4 feet. It was developed by the Israelis, and it is grown in an umbrella shape. So yes, it need not be a very huge tree like we have actually in the farms, but you can still grow and bear the same amount of fruits that you can grow that you can get from the farms. So there is a new method of it. They do not allow to grow beyond 4 feet, and it's easier for you to harvest also when you're home, so you don't have to climb on it. It is the regular, you can grow all types of mangoes like Milam mangoes or Alfonsos, or we have this Langda from Calcutta, and Pyri and Totapuri. Any type of mango tree you can grow. Even you can grow orange trees, which are not very popular here, but you can definitely grow orange trees, which are similar to which is the family of the lemon tree. And if you want to take up, I can speak to you one-on-one whenever you would want to.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to, Sadnya. And can we grow coffee similarly?
No, coffee you cannot actually grow on terrace, because one thing is it needs very good, it needs you know how the hill is, the water cannot be stagnant for coffee. So during monsoons, it will be really difficult for you to grow coffee on terrace, because there will be water logging, and unless you have very good, my God, I've lost the word for it. Oh God.
Percolate.
Are you talking about the shade that the coffee plant needs?
Yes, that is important.
Partly shady and partly.
Yes, shade is very important for coffee, but then you can have the sheets of greenhouses, to create that shade. But it is really not conducive to grow coffee on your terrace. And how much can you grow? You can probably grow very handful of beans on it, I believe. So coffee, tea, and one of those that you can grow on terrace. Yes.
So whenever Sanjay, you grow the mangoes, please consider me in the list of recipients. I'll be happy to swing by and get a few mangoes from you, Sanjay.
Sure.
Yeah,
I guess
sure.
Dr. Priya.
Dr. Priya has raised her hand, and I would request Dr. Priya to please ask her question.
Thank you. Thank you, Sadnya. See, I had that mango tree question in my head, and there's a small mango plant growing on my terrace as well. Let me see how tall it grows. Thanks for that. My question was, a lot of things are happening about hydroponics, and a lot of vegetables and green leafy vegetables are being grown with hydroponics. How does it affect the nutrition value of the vegetables grown through hydroponics?
Yes, when you grow it through hydroponics, the best thing is, because you're giving nutrient solution, and the nutrient solution is designed for vegetables and flowers. So when you're giving nutrient solutions to the vegetables, it gets the appropriate level of nutrition that you would be getting from the leafy vegetable. Like say, for example, if a leafy vegetable has got, say you need to get vitamin B12 from or vitamin B from leafy vegetables, then the best way to grow it is from through hydroponics, because that nutrient solution is designed in a way wherein the plant gets the appropriate amount of nutrition.
Is it harmful because these are the chemically derived? Because in the soil it is natural, and sometimes yes, pesticides are sprayed. So is it really a viable thing in the long run, hydroponics?
Yes, hydroponics is much better than cultivating in soil, because when you're cultivating it in soil, Dr. Priya, what happens is you're still using chemical fertilizers. No farmer is growing organic. It is very difficult to grow organic on a commercial scale. You cannot grow it on a commercial scale, organics. You can try it at home also. It is very difficult, even if you have more than 100 square feet of area, it is very difficult to grow only organically. So even if you grow in the soil, you do not know the nutrition level of that soil, and not all types of soil have got the similar nutrition to have
Sadnya, there's some disturbance in your audio.
Sadnya, I think we lost you again.
And sometimes it is
Yeah, Sadnya, please go ahead. We lost. Yeah.
That is being used when you're cultivating in soil. It could be sewage water also.
So we got you a little bit in bits and pieces there. I think there is some issue from your broadband.
Okay, yeah. That's what I was trying to do.
Anyways, I think we've come to the end of the session. I would request Dr. Priya to please propose a vote of thanks, and over to you, Dr. Priya.
I thank Sadnya for coming today and presenting it. It was very apt on an Earth Day and how to live sustainably, how to get the green into the household. Thank you so much, Sadnya. Thanks for the idea of growing our own fruits, vegetables in our own terrace, in our own balconies. And I thank Rotarian Mallikarjun for taking this initiative of calling Sadnya and presenting it. And yes, last but not least, my fellow dear Rotarians, yes, we have gone online today, but soon we'll be offline. Thank you all for attending today. I also thank all the other guests who have made their time and attended the meeting today. Thank you all so much. Over to you.
Priya, would you also want to talk about the club day that we are
yes,
for the
yes. With your permission, Mr.
Yes,
President.
please go ahead.
Okay. So we have been working on get-togethers and this thing, something or the other has been coming. We have our club day, which is a very important event for Rotary Rajmahal Vilas. We are having it the next Friday. So I request all the members to keep your calendar blocked between 7 to 8:30. The venue is Hotel Bangalore International. More details will follow very shortly. I request all the Rotarians to make it to the club day because it's going to be a big day for us. And it's going to be an offline meeting. Any other, all details will follow very soon, but I request 100% participation from all of you all. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. President.
Sadnya, there is an echo. There is an echo from your phone. Can you just mute yourself?
What chemicals are used to grow it?
Sadnya, can you
And as
introduce yourself, please?
we see most of it is also especially around urban areas. Villages it is better, but around urban areas, people do use wastewater to grow vegetables.